What's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB offseason recap. We have so much to talk about today, including this picture right here from Mike Clevinger. If we can see it, obviously something happened with his arm. We'll go ahead and discuss it because he signed a 2-year deal with the Padres. But from the looks of that picture, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to pitch anytime soon. Also, an update on Cody Bellinger. He just underwent major surgery on his shoulder. Is he going to be out for the 2021 season? We'll go ahead and talk about that, as well as the best GM in baseball, at least in my opinion. He's a future Hall of Famer, Theo Epstein. He said, deuces, peace out to the Chicago Cubs. Is he going to go to the Phillies? Is he going to go to the Mets? We'll go ahead and dissect that situation in just a second. But before we get into the juicy stories of the video, I've kind of taken a step back from Twitter the last couple days just because I've had so much going on. So I was going through my notifications super quick, and then I saw a random check mark who added my name, and it was Mitch Garver calling me out to a BP session with another checkmark baseball player. We have Trevor May. So if you guys want to see that, let me know in the comment section down below. Do not forget to leave a like because your boy's got to lose a few LBs if I'm going to participate in that. But yeah, Mitch Garver's calling me out to a BP session with Trevor May. I'm super down for that, so let me know if you guys want to see it. But aside from that, let's go ahead and focus on today's video because, again, we have a lot to talk about. Also, I just saw this. The Mets are trying to steal another person from the Indians that is not named Francisco Lindor. It's almost like the Indians are a feeder team for the rest of Major League Baseball. But like I mentioned in the intro, this picture is very concerning to Padres fans because obviously he doesn't look right. Mike Clevinger just went through Tommy John surgery, but he signed a 2-year deal with the San Diego Padres. Do not fret, you're not paying him for the 2021 season. You're essentially paying him for the 2022 season with some incentives. So the deal was 2 years, $11.5 million. That is nothing for a 2-year contract if you're talking about a guy as good as Mike Clevinger. But again, because he's going to be out for the next season, they're really only paying him for the 2022 year with some incentives. Maybe he has a few Cy Young Award starts to the point where he gets a 2nd place voting or a 3rd place voting. That way he'll be able to accrue some more money and get even more than that $11.5 million. But I saw a lot of people concerned that he was overpaid because how can you get paid that much money when you're not pitching? Obviously, you can't pitch that soon when you go through something as rigorous as Tommy John surgery. So he will be back in 2022. I hope nothing for the best for my man. I honestly think the Padres would have made a deeper playoff push if they had Lamet and Clevinger in that rotation because those two guys, they live up to the moment. They're big time arms, and I truly think that going forward, maybe they get Trevor Bauer, maybe they sign or trade for someone else. The Padres are going to be lethal on the offensive side as well as the pitching side for quite some time. So I'm super excited to see what they do in their future. That is the Mike Clevinger update. Now what we're going to do is talk about Cody Bellinger because Cody Bellinger hit a home run. I can't remember who he hit it off of, but anyways, it was a moonshot. He crossed home plate. He goes to celebrate with Kike Hernandez, and apparently Kike Hernandez is Dan Uggla 2.0, where he just has forearms made of steel because they bashed each other's forearms, and Cody Bellinger, he jerked it back a little bit and his shoulder completely popped out of place. Now, if you did not know as well, this has happened to Cody Bellinger before. When he was playing first base, he dove for a ball and it popped out. He was okay, he was fine. Obviously, he won an MVP just a season later. So I think that Cody Bellinger is going to be okay projecting to the 2021 season, but he's not going to be set for at least 10 weeks. So if you're a Dodgers fan, that's something to remind yourself of. If you don't see Bellinger on the spring training roster, it's because he's rehabbing and trying to get back healthy. So that just goes to show you, if you're a young baseball player, even high school going into college, maybe I would just, touch home plate, give your teammates a knuckle punch or something like that, because we've seen Kendrys Morales, after hitting a walk-off home run, he jumped over home plate, missed, his leg buckled, and he broke his leg, almost ended his career. It definitely changed it. Like, he was almost on his way to having a somewhat Hall of Fame career. That's how good he was, but unfortunately, even though he was decent after, he wasn't the same guy. So be smart about your celebrations. Do not be Kendrys Morales. Do not be Cody Bellinger. Now, of course, I wish all of these guys good good luck in their recoveries with Mike Clevinger and Cody Bellinger. But if your arm is feeling weird, don't go out there and pitch like Clevinger. If your shoulder is feeling or you just hit a home run, take it easy. It's more important to play than it is to celebrate. Just take it from me. So we got all the injuries out the way. What I want to do now is talk about Theo Epstein and the future of the Chicago Cubs, because there are a ton of question marks. So if you don't know who Theo Epstein is, he was hired at 28 years old back in 2003 as the Red Sox GM. A year later, he ended an 80-plus year drought of the Red Sox not being able to win a World Series. The curse of the Bambino was squished by Theo Epstein at 29 years old. What happens next? Oh, he wins a World Series in 2007, just 3 years after that. Then he goes to the Cubs, where they have not won a World Series in over 100 years. And in 2016, much to my demise, they overcome a 3-1 deficit and they win a World Series. So he has 3 championships in the span of 12 to 13 years. So he has cemented himself as the best GM in baseball, a future Hall of Famer. So it leads me to believe, what are the biggest questions going forward? 1, where is Theo Epstein going to land? I think it's either going to be with the Mets or the Phillies. I would say the Phillies because they have been a mess as of late. So I would say he's probably going to end up in Philadelphia. And the other guy, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I think it's Jed Hoyer. He's going to be filling in the shoes of Epstein. What is he going to do with Chris Bryant, Javier Baez, and Kyle Schwarber? I would say that Kyle Schwarber had the best season of the 3 that we just mentioned, but Chris Bryant was awful. I love the guy. He's from Vegas. I root for him every chance I get. But he was terrible in 2020. Same with Javier Baez. And I got a lot of flack after I said that Javier Baez is not a top 20 baseball player in the league. I got so much hate for it, so much criticism, and I ended up being right because he has a lot of flaws as an offensive player. Sure, he has an awesome swing and a great pimp job, but he's got to work on taking more pitches. He's got to work on striking out less, and that was evident the past season. He also has to stay healthy. So is the new GM going to retain the services of these 3 guys? In my opinion, we're probably going to make a video in the near future talking about the superstars of baseball that are going to get traded pretty soon. And I think that Bryant or Baez are going to be one of those players to get traded, because you can't pay Rizzo, you can't pay Hayward, Contreras. All of these guys are going to require max dollars. You cannot have 10 superstars on one squad. And we haven't even talked about Yu Darvish. He's probably their best player right now, almost won the Cy Young. You have to keep him and keep him happy. So there's going to be less dollars to go around for the other players on the squad. So if you're a Cubs fan, please let me know in the comment section down below. What do you make of Epstein resigning, as well as the 3 kind of trio with Bryant, Baez, and Schwarber? Do you think that they're going to get traded? What is going to happen going forward? Now, one more quick story I do want to talk about, because the Mets are trying to rip my heart out this offseason. First, I have to deal with the Lindor to the Mets trade rumors. There have actually been some mock trades out there. They're not very good, but the process and the snowball is starting to roll. They're also, the Mets are, trying to steal our general manager, Mike Chernoff. He was hired after the 2015 season. What happened in his very first year? We get to the playoffs, and of course we make it to the World Series. We all know what happens after that, but he led the team to the World Series. We had 22 consecutive wins the following season, and honestly, I can say this confidently, the Indians might be, in the regular season, the best team in baseball since he's been hired, because statistically speaking, the Indians have the most wins in baseball since 2016. You can look it up. It is a fact. But again, I mentioned this before in the video. It seems that the Indians are just a feeder system to the entire rest of the league. We can go to Cliff Lee, CC Sabathia, Victor Martinez, Manny Ramirez, Michael Brantley, all of these other guys that we build them up and we don't have enough money, so we have to ship them out. It is really devastating. Being an Indians fan, it's great, but it's also not great because we lose all of our best players. But that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, if you want to see me take BP versus Mitch Garver and Trevor May, let me know in the comment section down below. Leave a like on this video. Stay safe out there, and peace out.